Well, as someone who once came in here as the new young guy who stood the sport on its ear, now there's a whole bunch of them.
Boy, isn't there? I've never seen so many young new faces in the sport, and I think that's where a challenge maybe of having less practice is really going to play out. I mean, yeah, there's some experienced teams behind them, but their lack of experience in the draft, we know there's some new things happening with the cars this year. How are they going to drive? What kind of speed? And how are you going to be maneuvering in the draft? Well, I don't even know if they're going to get a chance to get in that draft. Not a big pack until we get to next Thursday. So right now, all about having a car that can win the pole or be on the front row for that Daytona 500.
And all of those new young names, one that America is looking forward most to meeting is behind the wheel of the number 24 that Jeff made famous. Here's Vince Welch.
That's right, Mike. William Byron is getting ready to begin his first official weekend as a Monster Energy Cup Series driver. NASCAR at the highest level, and it's not enough that he's a 20-year-old college student, but he's climbing into the iconic 24 machine, and he told me that it's surreal that he sees his name above the door. You know, 2 years ago he dominated the Truck Series. Last season he was the Xfinity Series champion. Now he steps up to the Cup level. Byron says he's prepared as he's ever been at any level, and we're about to really find out if he knows that he is as prepared as he thinks he is. He climbs in, he's ready to go, and he says at that test session in Las Vegas, it was so exciting just to go into that first corner, and he can't wait to get out on the track here at Daytona.
Thanks, Vince. Alex Bowman, new driver of the 88, vacated by Dale Earnhardt Jr. Another one of those new young faces. All right, class in session, pay attention. A quick review. Richard Petty, in his long and storied career's 200 victories, including 7 500s, the Silver Fox. David Pearson second on the all-time list. Super G, Jeff Gordon with 93. With 84, that would be Darrell Waltrip. And fellow Hall of Famer, Bobby Allison. And just one behind them, that's where Cale Yarborough lands on the all-time list, but he has company. Jimmie Johnson, the winningest active driver. Danica Patrick is back, and so is her longtime sponsor, GoDaddy. She'll be racing for Premium Motorsports with the number 7 that Premium acquired from Tommy Baldwin, former pole sitter for the 500.
It looks so weird to see anyone other than Jeff Gordon in that 24.
Yeah, it's a 4.
I gotta lie, I looked up at the timing and scoring, and I'm like, oh, the 10, I'm up there. I only rolled across the beacon. That's not me anymore.
Oh, man, you know, you get tied to a number.
Well, that's,
and
yeah.
you recognize a certain individual, yourself maybe in that number or another driver in that number.
Well, what an adjustment. Darrell had more numbers than the phone book in his career. You know, you went from 95 to 88 to 11 to 17 to 66. I mean, come on.
Yeah, right, and I'll never forget DW said to me, he goes, you wait till that 24 rolls out of that garage area in the pit road here, and you're standing up here. And he was right. It was awkward. It was unique. Now, this is the first time where that 24 is back into the paint scheme that, you know, very similar paint scheme that I drove with. So that's pretty exciting to see.
He looks about like you did when you started in that 24 car, William Byron.
At about the same age.
Yeah, similar.
Tom Hanks, his favorite actor.
I've never seen a driver progress faster from the first time he got behind the wheel of a race car, which we can go back a little bit earlier than that. It was a simulator or a video game, to the Cup Series. Wow, is that amazing how fast he has gotten here.
When he came to summer shootout at Lowe's Motor Speedway, or Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Legends cars, and was quick right off the bat and was winning right off the bat in the pro division. It's like, whoa, this kid. I told my son Scott, because we pitted right next to him, I said, you keep an eye on this young fellow. Whatever he does, that's what you do, because he is on his way.
And I was watching him, and you know, in the Truck Series, he was impressive. But he was driving for Kyle Busch Motorsports, one of the best trucks out there. And then he went to Junior Motorsports, certainly a very top team. And what he did last year in that car, especially at Homestead to win the championship against Elliott Sadler, that was the most impressive run I've seen him have.
All right, so William Byron is 20 years old. He attends Liberty University. He's doing his college work as well as doing his day job of driving the 24 for Rick Hendrick. Chase Elliott is 22 years old, 2 years older and a bit more experienced, of course, on the Cup side. And Alex Bowman is 24. So Hendrick Motorsports comes in here as the first race team to ever contests the Daytona 500 with 3 drivers under the age of 25.
Mike, look, it's Jeff.
The Flames are back.
Oh, it's Jeff.
So William Byron from Charlotte, North Carolina. His dad's Bill. I asked William, have you ever had a nickname? He says, no. Do I need one? I go, no. Some of the sport's greatest stars use their full name, like Richard Petty, David Pearson. Yeah.
He races online racing. He's got to have a nickname on there or something. We'll find it. But look at this. He's already matching up some of the speeds of his teammates that are all locked into the top 12 so far.
Now, Jeff, this 24 car, that's actually the 5 car, right?
Yeah, so, the 9 car is the same team that the 24 was. Alan Gustafson is the crew chief. This is Darian Grubb, the same team that Kasey Kahne drove for, just the numbers switched.
Eric Almirola was hoping, but no. William Byron, 4th fastest, 46.32 for the defending Xfinity champion, who is a college sophomore. We could call him Red Byron, but that was the name of NASCAR's first champion in 1949.
We're going to search and find something for William.
I think we just ought to stick with William for now.
Literary in our production crew would like to call him Lord Byron, but that's a horse of a different color. Let's just call him William.
I think we'll just stick with William.
Xfinity Series champion. Won so many races in the Truck Series the year before, they had to change the rules on how you make the playoffs because he missed it. And before that, he was a terror in Legends cars, beginning at age of 15, 2012.
I think what makes him so great, he is detail-oriented. As Larry McReynolds like to say, he dots every I and crosses every T, and he doesn't leave any stone unturned.
3rd at 46.26, a pickup of 6 100ths from round 1, but not quite enough for the front row.
When you call him a student of the sport,
he is.
in so many more ways than one, because he truly is a student.
I wonder if he gets college credit for that. He's a sophomore at Liberty University, Virginia.
If he keeps doing what he's been doing the last few years, he's going to start teaching classes.
He spent time with his spotter because he wanted them to be on the same page. He studies the dashboard in the car. So many little details that he's aware of.
Always exciting, often unpredictable. The Can-Am Duel at Daytona. Here on FS1 to set the 500 field. The odd-numbered qualifiers from Sunday are in Duel 1. That means pole sitter Alex Bowman, number 3 qualifier Jimmie Johnson. They'll start this race from the front row. In Chevrolets, a 3rd Hendrick Chevrolet with them is William Byron. The only Toyota, Daniel Suarez for Joe Gibbs Racing. And then it's a whole bunch of Fords. Ricky Stenhouse for Jack Roush. Joey Logano for Roger Penske, Eric Almirola for Stewart-Haas, Ryan Blaney, new to Team Penske this year, Kurt Busch, the defending 500 winner, Brad Keselowski, who won here Sunday in the Clash. Then the Chevys, Ryan Newman for Richard Childress, Jamie McMurray for Chip Ganassi Racing, Darrell Wallace Jr., the new driver for Richard Petty, and they now have Chevrolets, Ty Dillon for Germain Racing, Chris Buescher for JTG Doherty, and Brendan Gaughan, both in Chevrolets, as are Justin Marks and Jeffrey Earnhardt, David Gilliland, and David Reagan, who has a couple of wins on plate tracks.
Jamie, 3 Hendrick cars hold down the top 3 spots, each with their own agenda. Especially rookie William Byron in the 24. He told me his goal tonight is to be extremely assertive, put himself in some really good learning situations. As crew chief Darian Grubb told me that what impresses him most, he drives like a 10-year veteran, makes so many smart decisions. He expects to see more tonight. Regan Smith.
So why put America's best drivers in America's worst riding race cars? It's aerodynamically efficient that way, right?
It makes them fast.
Right.
And look, every crew chief, every driver, they just want to go fast, Ricky Bobby. I'm just telling you.
William Byron, we listened in.
If you're not really going anywhere as you go along there, just save a little fuel, just give us some cushion to the end. I think the 17 is doing the same thing, saving a little for a push to the front later.
Yeah, William Byron is going to school. He's a great student. We know very well that's been documented, him going to Liberty University. But this kid is so new to this kind of competition, this type of car and the way it's handling, that he's trying to just absorb as much of it as he possibly can. I think he's in a perfect position for that, but I don't know if I agree with Darian Grubb on the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. saving fuel.
No, what I like about William Byron, he seems to be able to get it on the edge, but not over the edge. He takes it right up to the limit, but not over the limit.
He has won, and won big, in everything he's driven.
Jeff, how long did it take you to win a race down here in that 24 car?
I had a little success in our first duel.
Yeah, the first time.
First time he won.
In Thursday, in what was a 125-mile race, Victory Lane.
I absolutely loved coming down here those first few years and having a car that was fast and handling well, and I just loved the draft. It was a blast. Now, we weren't in such big packs like this back in 1993. It's changed a lot over the years.
37 laps complete in the first race that makes up the Can-Am Duel tonight. To set the field for the 500, Joey Logano's led all but one lap. One caution flag. Jimmie Johnson lost a left rear tire on lap 9. Collected Eric Almirola. With
they're wrecking. 24's around.
Oh, no.
William Byron, the rookie.
Hold her down.
Stenhouse jumped out to make a move. 17. I don't know if that...
Never touched you, but he pulled you around with air.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I saw.
Yeah.
Byron was already... The back of the car was definitely unstable.
There's not that much damage.
No, the right front's down, but the car doesn't look bad.
I can't tell here.
You know, the damage looks...
I think the right side is banged up pretty good.
But I had seen him moving around quite a bit with the back of the car going down the straightaways, and when Stenhouse pulled out, it just sucked that car around to the left.
Watch this, Mike.
All right, watch Stenhouse on your right, the blue
car back here behind the 24 when he jumps out.
He gets right up to that rear bumper and then goes to side draft that left rear. Well, I mean, look how close he is. And it just, basically, that just packs air like Larry was talking earlier, but instead of pulling him back, it actually took the back of the car and turned it around.
Mike, I think the way the air is moving around these cars right now, with the cars the way they're set up, nobody's really sure what's causing these things to happen. Boy, Stenhouse is...
Yeah, he did get the nose, and there's a lot of different pieces that connect to the radiator in that nose that could have been damaged that we can't see from here.
They're tied out back. 24 and then 17. 17 topping on one. Stand behind you. Stand behind you. Stand behind you. Stay up top. Watch the top. Stay up there. Inside.
Now let's ride with Kurt Busch.
Wow.
That just shows.
Spin it, left, keep digging, straight ahead, straight ahead. You're all clear here, all clear.
Wow, what a shot. That was incredible. Wow, good job, guys.
And there are many possible culprits. Aerodynamics, skew, side drafting. There are a lot of reasons. One thing there did not seem to be, though, was contact.
No, I don't think there was any contact, but we talked about some of these teams going all out for qualifying. And remember, William Byron qualified 5th. So they definitely have a setup that was built for speed, and he's right in there trying to learn all that he can. But I could tell he had his hands full. We saw it in practice a little bit, and we certainly have been seeing it in this race so far.
Yeah, and being a rookie really didn't have anything to do with that. That's just aerodynamics, and there's nothing you can do to predict that.
Yeah, William Byron, not what you wanted to have for a start today. We saw you get a little bit loose out of the tri-oval. We know how difficult the tri-oval is. What happened over there?
Yeah, that was kind of the worst possible spot to get on my quarter panel, and I just lost it. I just got sucked around there, moved me around. But other than that, it was going pretty well before then. So hate it that we tore up a car, but we'll go to work and get ready for the 500. So it just was, we were just all kind of riding in a single file line, and a couple guys were trying to make the bottom work and just got sucked around. So
David Gilliland is around down in turn 1. And took a pretty hard hit into the wall.
Heavy
that will put us under
car.
our 3rd caution flag.
As we run through the finishing order, the success. Remember, the Fords in the Clash claimed the top 4 spots overall. And Michael, here we had 8 cars involved in crashes, and Jimmie Johnson, Eric Almirola, Brad Keselowski in backup cars for Sunday's Great American Race.
And I think we thought maybe that could be a possibility, Chris, because these cars are different.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, Rick Hendrick is always trying to be innovative, to be in front of the competition. This year, there's a new young look to Hendrick Motorsports, and it's being led by 42-year-old 7-time champion Jimmie Johnson. I'm going to state the obvious. Got 2 new guys here. You got a new car. Chase, new number this year. Obviously, that was your dad's number, but you won the championship in Xfinity in that number.
People say, oh, you know, glad to see you're getting your dad's number. Listening to him respond to people, he said, well, that's as much Chase's number as it was mine. And I take a lot of pride in that. I would never be the first one to say that, but I do think it has some truth. I've run the number ever since I started racing go-karts. Mine is just a few races here and there. So to have the opportunity is awesome, and it's my favorite number, so it's a great fit.
What do you think it's going to take to get that win this year?
It's been a long road. A lot of people kind of got the misconception that I don't have that fire.
The bumper to the back of the 24, showing his displeasure.
It was good to see. I liked it. I want to see some more of that in 18.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see less of races ending like that. It would be great. There definitely is a lot of fire. It's always been there with me. Just because you carry yourself a certain way doesn't mean you don't care.
You know you're the senior leader now. And when I say senior, I don't mean just that you've been here the longest.
I have a little bit of age on these guys.
You take these 2 guys, Chase and Williams, ages together, and you're still older than them. Did you know that?
That's bad news. I wasn't aware of that. Thank you, buddy.
I've seen you take on this whole new leadership role. You sent out a tweet about, you taking the kids to lunch. How's this relationship going to be this year with these 3 young guys?
You know, through my career, I've had great fortune to have mentors like yourself. And I knew at some point in my career, in my life, that would shift. I wasn't sure it happened at once with 3 guys, but I vividly remember when I first came in and you sharing things with me that I saw differently or approached differently. And I know for a fact that's going to happen with William and Alex and even Chase. I'm really excited. I want to be better at that, and I'm trying to take steps now to learn more, learn how to be a better leader.
William, I still am amazed how fast of a path since the first time you got behind the wheel of a race car. I mean, does that blow your mind?
It's incredible. I mean, I grew up watching races as a kid. I get to do this for a living now and get to be in a car that a lot of kids would dream about being in.
Everybody knows you're a very good student. Jimmie Johnson's your neighbor. Do you just take your book bag and go to school, every morning over at Jimmie Johnson's house to learn?
He's the best one to learn from. Your help and Jimmie's help has been really important to me, and there are things I have to learn, and I feel like I try to race things that are going to challenge me in different ways. Race some RC cars every now and then.
I think you were up in Ohio or something.
Yeah.
It was a big event.
5 days in basically a warehouse and negative 10 degrees outside. Racing RC cars is kind of a different dimension. You're not in the car feeling it. What I realized is that the guys that are successful in that have the same mindset of guys that are successful in any form of racing. I'm pretty green. I just have to keep learning each week.
We welcome to by the way, Bill, I should say Bill Elliott is here, ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer. We want to welcome father of Chase Elliott and 2-time Daytona 500 winner. He walked over while we were listening in. And first of all, thanks for being here, and congratulations on raising a fine son and a fine driver. He has said, Chase has said, Bill, that, yeah, he gives me racing advice, but he's more my dad. How do you divide that line there when you're around him?
Well, Jeff and Darryl knows it's a fine line. You try to teach them the best you can, and then you try to step back and see how they grow into it. Because I feel like it's more let them lean on you than vice versa. Trying to school them in everything they do, and that's what I've tried to do with Chase. Is step back, be a friend when I can be a friend, or be there when he needs me to be there, and just see how he handles the different situations.
Bill, I'm amazed at how you guys have gotten to this level. I think it's so cool. As a father who has a son interested in racing, I think there's a lot of other parents out there also that love to know, how is that path and how do you go about that?
It's a tough path, Jeff, and you and Darryl both know how hard this is. And the more this sport grows and where it's at today, it's just harder to get there. It's harder to be a part of it. And to me, just go out and have fun. That's what I try to tell the kids young, is you'll find your place as time goes on. If you're good enough, you'll get there. If not, that's the way it's supposed to be. But any of these guys, their careers could end today, whether they want it or whether it's not. And that's the thing that you got to understand is it's short. I said 21 will turn to 31, 41. You look back where it all went.
I can attest
Darryl
to
and myself
that.
And you as well. It goes before you know it.
In the field, he's never raced a Cup car before. William Byron, 20 years old. Did you get any sleep last night?
It was honest. I'll be honest, it was really hard too. But I tried to just stay focused on this race and make sure I could prepare the best I could. But it's great to be driving the 24 car here at Daytona and just ready to get in that race car.
Vince, who do you have?
Well, don't be shy.
Two of the youngest ever to start this race will do so from row 17.
You're in the car. There's William Byron experiencing this for the first time.
20 years old. Imagine what you were doing when you were 20, and now you're here at Daytona on the biggest stage, the biggest race of the year, the Great American Race.
You can see the breeze and the wind kicking up a little bit, which could be a factor.
Explosion.
Bell bottom.
This way. That way.
You
Thank
guys,
you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys have too much time in between whatever we do it is that we do.
And that
here.
trophy is heavy, man. You're trying to pick that thing up.
The roles should have been reversed, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I had to go get the trophy. I had to put it in the trunk. I had to tell him which way to go, and he went the wrong way.
I love the look. And in fact, it is getting a little cooler here.
The wind is definitely picking up.
It's NASCAR's opening day.
Words in Motorsports for the 60th running of the Daytona 500. Please welcome Grand Marshal, two-time Daytona 500 champion, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Welcome to the sold-out 2018 Daytona 500. Drivers, start your engines!
Alex Bowman in the 88. On the pole, Denny Hamlin, second fastest qualifier, won the race in 2016. Ryan Blaney, new to Team Penske, won his duel on Thursday, as did Chase Elliott, Bill Elliott's son. Joey Logano, the 2015 winner, and Kevin Harvick, the 2007 500 champion.
I love this row. I love row 4. Darrell Wallace Jr. and Eric Jones, two young guys here that are going to try to make a name for themselves today. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I mean, we saw him in the qualifying races. He's got a fast forward today. Clint Boyer, hungry for a win. And then we got the two brothers side by side, the Busch boys.
And 2008 Daytona 500 winner Ryan Newman alongside his teammate looking to take the number 3 to victory lane, Austin Dillon. And row 8, David Reagan, who's won a Daytona race here in July 2011, and Paul Menard joins the historic Wood brothers. Row 9, Daniel Suarez looking to become the first foreign-born driver to win the Daytona 500 since Andretti and Trevor Bayne, 2011 Daytona 500 winner.
Jamie McMurray won this race in 2010. A.J. Allmendinger's finished in the top 3 twice. Chris Buescher, 2015 Xfinity champ, and Michael McDowell, 4th here in July. Ty Dillon, one of Richard Childress' 2 grandsons in the race, and the series champion Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, Brendan Gaughan, he finished 11th in the 2017 Daytona 500. Kasey Kahne, the 95. Another Earnhardt here, the 40th straight year for an Earnhardt in the race. And Danica Patrick making her last Cup race start.
And row 16, we've got, row 15, Justin Marks and DJ Kennington. Row 16, Brad Keselowski, who won the Clash here on Sunday alongside Corey LaJoie. Row 17, rookie phenom in that 24 car, William Byron and Craig Gaulding. Row 18, 7-time, the only driver to win the Daytona 500 twice in this field, Jimmie Johnson and Matt DiBenedetto.
Then Eric Almirola with a new team. His only Cup win here was in Daytona, July of 14. And Kyle Larson, who got passed on the last lap last year. David Gilliland, former pole sitter at Daytona, and Mark Thompson at age 66, matching his car number in his final start in a Cup car. That is the oldest driver to ever start the Daytona 500. Backup cars from Thursday night. Those cars are going to the back.
Many eyes today will be focused on the young phenom William Byron. He has shot up the ranks of NASCAR, and today he makes his very first start in NASCAR's highest level. He's just 20 years old. He's a college student, and he said to me, yes, it's surreal. Yes, it's exciting. I'm going to start the Daytona 500. Mike?
William Byron, new to the number 24 at Hendrick Motorsports. Chase Elliott had that number last year. This year, Elliott driving the number 9 that his dad made famous. And rookie William Byron takes over the keys to the 24.
I think he's going to school. I think that's what he's doing. He's just taking notes, mental notes. Where do I need to be? High, low. What's my car need? Just really, really taking his time with this race.
NASCAR is still reviewing the number 22 of Logano to see if he will be penalized. Look at this! Oh, Stenhouse! He saved it!
No, Eric Jones is not going to be able to save it.
Jones did not.
Come on.
Jones, his teammate Suarez, William Byron, Jimmie Johnson are all in it along with Ty Dillon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trevor
goodness.
Bayne was able to weave his way through there.
Caution. And the green and white checkered flag to end stage 1 with Kurt Busch, the stage winner. Alex Bowman in second.
It's just too
Ricky
early.
Stenhouse third.
It's too early for those types of aggressive moves. You don't need to do. I know stage points are important, but
look at the orange number 19 and the 88.
So the 12 of Blaney goes try to make a move on the 17 of Stenhouse. He blocks it. They make contact. Great save by Stenhouse, but so much momentum coming with the 20 of Eric Jones. When he gets into the back of the 17 of Stenhouse, his car starts going around on him.
What a shame. What a shame.
6 cars involved, riding with Daniel Suarez.
Wow.
That was violent.
Now you know what it's like to wreck at Daytona going into turn 3.
Holy
now,
smoly.
7-time series champ Jimmie Johnson's on board.
Inside, one coming back up top.
Absolutely nothing you can do in that
No.
situation.
And let's have a look from the back straightaway as this developed.
Big move to the outside to block Blaney by Stenhouse. I thought for sure Stenhouse was going around.
Yeah, he looked like he was long gone, and that's really what caused this whole thing. When he came up in front of Eric Jones in the 20, Jones had nowhere to go.
And Bowman had filled that space in the inside to make it 3 wide with Eric Jones, so he had nowhere to go.
Nope.
Ty Dillon in the 13. Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, Jimmie Johnson, Kyle Larson, who has made it to pit road.
Right there in front of you. Right on the bumper here. Hang on, hang on, hang on.
A couple drivers who tried to sneak through. William Byron was one. Trevor Bayne in the 6 was another. Byron in the 24.
It's up on the outside there.
He's behind Jimmie Johnson. Just look at him in a big slide. Oh, a little bit of contact.
Now here comes the
front.
6. Here comes Bain.
Goes up the banking.
And makes it.
You see, that's why when you see it all happening, you get on the brakes, you slow it down so you can.
The leader has missed his pit box. Of the 7 cars involved in that crash, a number of them are back on track, and at least one is up there in the mix. William Byron in the 24 in 15th place. A little bit of damage, the crash damage that they have repaired, but he's been back up to speed there.
You know, Mike, you're so disappointed. You've been here for a week now. You get ready for the biggest race of your life, the Daytona 500, and you get taken out by something that really you had nothing to do with. So disappointing to have to leave here with a wrecked race car.
But that's the fight that you have to put into the Daytona 500. You never give up on working on that car to get it to the end of this race, because you never know how things are going to unfold, and that's what those guys did a great job of on the 24 car.
Third generation racer Ryan Blaney. His dad, Dave, the Buckeye Bullet, World of Outlaws champion and a Sprint Cup driver. Granddad Lou, a sprint car ace. It runs in the family.
Well, remember when Montoya hit the jet dryer, who was leading the race? We didn't think we were going to get back. We didn't think we were going to go back to racing.
Dave Blaney.
Dave Blaney.
I raced with Dave in the sprint car days, and incredibly talented. That whole family just has so much talent, whether it's racing, basketball, a lot of athleticism.
Ryan's uncle Dale, another great sprint car racer.
William Byron went sliding through the crash. Can they rally? Can they rebound from a near miss and get a chance to win Daytona? I'll be watching closely.
Inside by himself. You're clear. You're clear.
William Byron against the wall coming through turn number 4. We stay green. Not sure how much damage to that number 24.
Got a few more.
About 6 more cars to get by him. 24 up on the high side.
Bubba Wallace, yeah, I don't think whatever Bubba coming up didn't seem to have anything to do with that. I think he just blew maybe a right front tire. Maybe some of that damage that team tried to fix, it just couldn't quite clear those fenders.
Darren, looks like we have a flat tire coming to you.
Now he's got to make it another 2 miles around to get to pit road.
Yeah, at that speed, we're going to see some debris.
Caution for debris on the back straightaway that came off William Byron's car. It comes at lap 93.
Yeah, Jeff, I got to believe that might be a product of some of that damage he had earlier. And I don't think Bubba had anything to do it. Bubba was moving up, but I think it.
Yeah, no, Bubba didn't. I thought at first that Bubba came up, but no, that didn't have anything to do with it.
Larry Mack, I saw you had your crowbar in hand about to pry open that pit window.
Yeah, Mike, if we'd have stayed green, all of the drivers that pitted back on lap 52, 53, right in there, they were going to have to pit somewhere between lap 100 and 105. They will pit this caution here. But a lot of those drivers, which would start with Chase Elliott that pitted on lap 64, they were going to go.
Ryan Blaney came up to the top lane to cover the spot and prevent Chase Elliott's number 9 from advancing. Big push coming from Elliott, and Keselowski, contact, Elliott, slam into the wall.
Are you kidding me?
Danica Patrick, Kasey Kahne.
Oh, man, oh, man.
You all right? Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, took the wind out of Chase Elliott.
Yeah, that was
Elliott, Kahne, here's
violent.
Danica Patrick and Kevin Harvick.
Man, Mike,
all this
guys,
blocking going on.
Well, it's at the end of these stages, and everybody, I mean, it's like all of a sudden everybody says, I want to win a stage.
And Keselowski, the pre-race favorite, has the right front torn off of his car, as does David Reagan. Chase Elliott climbs out. Creating access and opportunities that allow them to discover their strengths. Jamie?
Chase Elliott has been checked and released. Hard hit, Chase. First off, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. It just had such a fast Napa Camaro Z01 today, and just wanted a shot there at the end, and tough circumstances. Was just trying to make
feel Blaney out. Let's kind of see what he was going to do, how aggressive he wanted to be, and had a big push and just got light at the wrong time and didn't make the right move.
Thank you.
Right now, the window is open.
The leaders are about to get into some heavy double-wide traffic ahead.
Yeah, I think something's changing with that 12 car. He's starting to run the bottom in 3 and 4. Maybe the sun going down. Maybe that's the reason why. Runs high 1 and 2, seem to run low in 3 and 4. I don't know if the handles may be going away a little bit on that car, but I do know that 22 keeps wanting to look like he might want to try to make a pass.
I was curious to see if he's going to get stalled out in this lap traffic, but looks like Blaney made a great call to go the outside. He's going to take that train of cars behind him with him.
Jamie McMurray.
Whoa!
In the middle. Longest green flag stretch of racing today as we go side by side. Here comes the lead pack. Next time they come to the stripe, it'll be 10 laps to go. Third generation racer Ryan Blaney in his first drive as a full team. Trouble, turn 4. A car spins to the inside. It's William Byron. Caution.
Caution's out, caution's out, caution's out.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well, that changes some things.
Yeah, you know what it changes? The 22
Everything.
will get back on the lead lap.
Yes.
He's got a fast car.
Free pass for Joey Logano. First car 1 lap down. Byron's car damaged from that earlier crash at lap 60. They'd made a lot of repairs, but right rear down there. And here's what happens. Look for the flames and the sparks.
Yeah, right rear tire. Probably haven't, he's got a lot of body damage, probably rubbed it.
Right front blows out as he's locked up, the tires sliding there on the apron.
Jeff, I'm Ryan Blaney. I've led 114 laps of this race. The next closest guy to me is Kurt Busch. He's led 14. Man, and then I'm thinking, I had this in the bag. This changes everything. This sets up for an incredible finish.
I like how you think he had it in the bag. I think those others were sitting.
I think Ryan Blaney heard you fellas. He's elected the inside.